Hey champions, it's your boy OMA coming at you with another video. This time, I want to try and give you 7 tips to improve your game in Roller Champions. These might not be pro tips, but they're definitely things that me and the people I play with have implemented over the past week or so that have definitely helped us improve our game a lot. Now, tip number 1 is the easiest one in the world. It's one that's going to get screamed over and over and over again until the end of time. Pass the damn ball. This is a team game. There is 3 of you for a reason. You cannot do it on your own. Some people will be able to do it on their own, but we're looking at the rule, not the exception. So passing the ball is an absolutely essential thing for you to be doing. It is the easiest way to keep the ball away from the other team. The current state of the game seems to lean much more on the offensive than defensive. When you have the ball, you're in a super powerful position because defense just isn't that easy. I haven't found it easy at all. I suck at defense, but once you've got the ball, you're in a massively strong position because avoiding the other team is super easy with the use of the mag pass. When you're in sticky situations where you don't see a way out, the easiest thing to do is look for a pass. Pass to a teammate, they can pass to another teammate, you can pass back and forth. It's the easiest way to avoid being tackled and losing possession of the ball. Tip number 2 is something that I've been doing for a while and plenty of people have been doing since beta and probably even before beta. Uppercut up the wall at the start of the rink. Pick a side and just shoot your way up it. You can continuously uppercut to try and keep yourself up there a little bit longer, but if you practice it more and more and more, you'll be able to get the timing down a bit better. If you uppercut up the wall at the right time and catch the ball, you're going to be able to slam down that wall and go straight past the first checkpoint, giving you a huge start to the round. And then, either carry that speed through and get around the corner and then rely on your teammates, or pass straight on. Now, moving on from the uppercut up the wall, another one, leaning on the same idea, is uppercutting up the wall for a pass. This is something the people that I play with have implemented a heck of a lot. We uppercut up the wall when we're calling for passes. The mag pass allows us to throw the ball straight up the wall, and then the next player bombs it down and usually can just slip straight past the enemy team. It's a huge move, and by the time that's happened, there should be someone waiting up the other wall for you to pass to if you're in a sticky situation. 3, again, leading on from that, is rotation. So say you've just bombed it down the wall after catching the ball, gone past the first checkpoint, you've passed it to your teammate up top of the wall in the corner. Now, I've seen a lot of people that just then skate after their teammates. I mean, I'm sure it does work sometimes, but personally I'd say this is where rotation really matters. If you've just passed the ball to your teammate and he's just slammed it down the opposite lane, you're probably not going to be able to catch up to him unless you're going to use a team move and drag your whole team down there. Now, what I would personally do is rotate backwards. Roller Champions is a game that's played in both directions. The ball can go both ways, so can you. Go back round yourself, get up on the wall and wait for your teammate. Rotate around so that you can be a viable pass to your teammate or to counteract the opponents that are trying to take him out. It's a super simple concept. It applies to so many situations, even when the enemy team has the ball. Say the enemy team have just pulled the ball, and they have just used a team move to slam down the opposite lane. There's no point chasing them. The likelihood is you're not going to catch them, and you don't want your whole team chasing because that leaves you in a super vulnerable position. The best thing to do would be at least one of you to rotate back round. Tip number 5. Team moves. They're super important, at least in my experience. We've been relying on them so much. We have tried 2 different ways of using team moves. One that prioritizes throwing teammates forwards off of the ball carrier to then have viable passes, and one which focuses on throwing the ball carrier forwards and allowing them to complete laps. We found that keeping the ball away from the enemy team is the most important thing. Or at least that's for us. You're free to try it both ways, but team moves are super important. They're super powerful. Especially the team boost. Being able to boost off your teammate with the ball, allowing you to just fly away from the opponent's team, is just a super powerful thing to be able to do. Especially on that last corner where you're usually getting countered down both lanes. We've found that using a team boost, going up the wall, and then the other teammate rotating round, and you've been able to pass it, is just a huge thing to be able to do. Usually all of the opponents are just gathered in that little bowl, and you can just throw straight over them, and for the most part, it's 3 points there. Tip number 6 is free passing. Mag pass is an amazing mechanic and it works really well, but it's not always an option. And I would encourage you to not be afraid to try and free throw. It's exactly the same thing as when you're trying to score a point, just throwing the ball. Sometimes free throwing can really pay off. If they're out of the range of the mag pass and there's opponents between you and your teammate, free throwing the ball straight over them can sometimes work out really well, especially in situations where the opponents are generally all gathered up around you and the opposite end of the rink is completely free. Free throwing straight down that end of the rink with one of your teammates down there, it's huge. They're more than likely going to catch the ball, then they're going to have free reign to make any move they see most fit. Tip number 7 is something that I need to implement myself, and I'm very aware of that. Practice tackles and don't always extend tackle. And what I mean by that is tackling I found to be quite difficult, and from what I've seen from the players that I've played online, it's not the easiest thing in the world for everyone. I would really encourage people to just get together, go into some custom games and practice tackling. One thing that I found helps me a heck of a lot is messing with the ball cam settings. Standard, I believe, it's set to hold to lock onto ball cam. You can set it to tap, and I've been implementing that so that when the enemy team has the ball, I switch to ball cam, which has just helped me a very small amount just direct my tackles, and it's increased my success rate a little bit. But I still need to go into custom games and practice. The second part of that is don't always extend tackle. I do it a heck of a lot. I extend tackle all the time. It is not benefiting me at all. I hit some of them, and that's great, but the time it takes me to get back up means that I'm usually out of the action pretty quickly. Those extended tackles are really supposed to be a last resort, or when you really know, like, you really need to do it. If you're going to take out a couple of them in general situations, it's hindering me more than it's helping me, and I feel like that's going to be the same for you. I hope you found these tips helpful. Again, these are things that me and the people I've been playing with have been implementing. It's stuff that I've learned off of players like Psychos when he's talking me through my gameplay review. They're just things that I found helpful, and I wanted to share them with you. I'm sure there's plenty of new players out there that could use just a couple of tips to help them get better. I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've got any really good tips, please drop them down in the comments because I need all the help I can get. And I'll see you guys later.